And welcome to our look at Golden Rivers. And we haven't had much play for a number of weeks. Seems like it'd be 6-7 weeks. It seems it's just been an unbelievable set of circumstances with the New South Wales factor in the cross-border deliberations. Well, Central Murray and Golden Rivers are returning to round 9 action this weekend, which is great news. A little bit of relocation of some games, one at Moolameen between Hay and Wandella because of the New South Wales situation on councils and shires to the Victorian bubble, but that has been rectified with a relocation of a game from Hay over to Moolameen for Hay's home game against Wandella. Having a look at the premiership tables and where the clubs sit as we go to the last round of home and away matches. This round 9 does complete the home and away season before the finals. And in senior football, Nullarbor, of course, been on top all year, 40 points. Wandella, 28. Moolameen, 28. And Quambatook, 24. Hay are on 20. But you reckon, though, the percentage is too great between those two for, say, Quambatook to lose and Hay to win by a massive margin, but that percentage I don't think can be made up over this weekend. In reserve grade, the premiership tables Murrabit, Macorna, Nullawil and Wandella. Now, Wandella have 5 and 5, Moolameen are 4 and 6, but have a better percentage, as with Hay 4 and 6, and have a poorer percentage. So in that context, the last home and away matches have some real interest in the reserve grade. In particular, having a look at the 17.5, the premiership table, Macorna from Nullawil, Hay and then Moolameen. They are all out and out on top. There are a big gap between Moolameen and Wandella, so that won't change the top 4 there. And in the under 14.5s, Wandella, Macorna, Murrabit and Ultima make up the top 4 placings. But in this competition, it's 10 and 8, 10 and 1 to Wandella, 8 and 2 to Macorna, 7 and 3 to Murrabit and 7 and 4 to Ultima. But at Mallawil are 5 and 6. I don't think they can actually catch up those points from here. Okay, let's go to the finals series, and it is decided that the grounds for Golden Rivers finals, and they're going to be hosted the first semi-final at Wandella, second semi-final at Quambatook, preliminary final at Macorna, and then the grand final at Murrabit. And speaking about Murrabit, 3 of their best players are being honoured this weekend for the final round of home and away matches, where Nathan Henry plays his 300th game, along with Neil Teasdale his 300th reserves game, and Justin Rooney 200 club games. So 3 players that have all, with this final match of the season, they're picking that as a good weekend to come along and to commemorate it, albeit that I don't think there's any crowds that are allowed to be at the games, but that is something that has been announced by Golden Rivers Footy League. Having a look at the games to be played this weekend, and it is great to be back for round 9 action, albeit it's been a real hiatus and taken us a long time to get here. At Moolameen, we see Hay will take on Wandella. Should be a good match of football, and Hay would want to win the match if they can, even though it's not at their home deck as such. Wandella will come out. Still a long road trip for them. I think Hay can take it right up to Wandella here, but maybe the Bombers just in this game. It'll be a really tight contest. Hay have improved in the last recent weeks. Maybe they can win this match closer to home. Murrabit play Moolameen, and Murrabit, I reckon, a real chance at home too with those big celebrations. And Moolameen, well, they haven't been going well in the second half of the season, so maybe a little upset brewing here. Macorna take on Quambatook. This one, Quambatook should win, and that shores up their 4th place, albeit at the end of the day, even if they were to lose the match, I think it's pretty hard to see Hay's percentage and Quambatook's percentage dropping enough and Hay raising enough to get into the final 4. Nulla will play Ultima. Traditional rivals. There'll be a lot to hear of folk that will be interested in the result. Unfortunately, because of the nature of the restrictions, there won't be any crowd at Nullawil for it, except for, I guess, the officials and so on that are doing official capacity work, and all that's being organised. But generally speaking, these two sides would come into a match like this, and in past years they've played in some great grand finals. But for the last home and away match this season, Nulla I think will win by plenty. Ultima will be just glad the season's over, and they'll be thinking about how do they regroup for another year after losing a lot of players this season, particularly at their senior level. So that is a look at Golden Rivers. It is back to playing after 6 weeks or so off of the park, and we're looking forward to finals not far around the corner. Hopefully we can get to them without any issues in New South Wales, and hopefully moving forward, no more issues in regional Victoria.